define domain. So what's the domain? Where do we find the domains? Yeah, the x values. Oh. So it's all x values that have a y value. And so what do you suppose the range is?
All y values.
Yep. All the y values that have an x value. That's the main thing to remember, is that domain has to do with the x's. So what it covers when you're going from left to right, and the range has to do with the y. So what you cover when you're going from bottom to top. So these first few we'll do together. So for number 1, domain. So when I trace this, I'm not looking at up and down, I'm looking at left to right. Where does it start when I'm on the left?
-4.
Starts at -4. This point right here is an open circle. So it doesn't go anywhere beyond -4. And it doesn't include -4. And now when I go to the right, how far will it go to the right? It looks, yeah, I heard 2 and I heard infinity. 2 is here, but notice how this is actually still, all these points here are to the right of 2. It will continue to go to the right slowly, but it'll keep going to the right infinitely. So -4 to infinity. And you cannot include either one of those. Infinity because you can never include it, and -4 because it's an open circle. Then range, you go from bottom to top. What's the lowest for the y? Yes, we say -infinity because it's pointing down forever. And how high does it go? 5. Doesn't include the 5. No, same reason, because it's an open circle. Okay, good. Okay, now let's look at number 2. Okay, so when I trace it from left to right, what's the farthest left that it goes? -infinity. As I follow along to the left, there is a problem right here. And we have to look to see if there's any other place where x equals 1. Not where y equals 1, where x equals 1. Do I have any other point where x equals 1? No, I would have to have some point up here, or some point down here, somewhere vertical from that would show that, yeah, there is actually a point at there, but there's not. So that means I have a problem at 1, so I got to stop at 1, because it cannot include 1, and then I got to pick back up at 1. And now, when I keep going to the right, how far does it go? It does go to infinity, yes. Okay, so the range, bottom to top. The bottom, the lowest is what? -infinity. And then we go and we see again, like we had earlier, we've got an open circle here. This time I'm looking at y, so it's where y is 1. Do I have any other points where y is 1?
Yes.
Yeah, I sure do right here. So I don't have to worry about that hole for the range because 1 is covered. So I don't have to stop at 1. So now I keep going up. I don't have any other holes. It's got an arrow, so how far up does it go? Yeah, forever. To infinity. Good. Okay, you try number 3. Anybody want to tell me what they think the domain is? Go ahead, Rebecca.
Negative infinity to infinity.
That's absolutely right. Why didn't I have to stop at 1?
Because there's a closed circle.
There's a closed circle at 1, so I don't have to worry about it. Good. Anybody want to tell me the range?
Negative 3 to infinity.
Negative 3 to infinity. Negative 3 is an open circle, so that's why it's a interval and it's pointing up, so that's why it's a open parentheses. And then as I go up, it looks like we might have a problem at 2. Why not?
It goes to infinity.
Yeah, this one keeps going up. Pretend that that's straight, but it keeps going up, so there is a 2 over here. So I don't have to worry about it. It keeps going up forever, so that's why it's to infinity. Questions? Let's look at number 4. Left to right. So from the left, my lowest, or farthest to the left, negative infinity. To where do I need to stop, or can I go all the way? Negative 1. That's right. There is no x value. Well, there is no y that goes with x being negative 1. Those are both open circles. So then I have to pick back up at negative 1. And now how far do I go? 5. And that is also an open interval, or parentheses, because I can't include the 5 because of the open circle. There's no arrow, so it does not go to infinity. Okay. What about the range?
Negative infinity to 3.5.
Yes, you're right. Okay, negative infinity because of this arrow. That means it technically goes down forever. So we don't start at negative 3.
Miss Key,
Yes, ma'am.
need to see back at his.
Okay. So then we go up, and it looks like we have a problem here. But there's a point for it over here. So there's not a problem. It goes all the way up until this point. And then at that point, which is about 3.5, that's our highest y value. Okay, you try number 5. Jose, what do you think?
Negative 5 to infinity.
Yes. Negative 5 to infinity does not include negative 5. This is an open circle. Will include negative 1 because there's a filled in circle here. And this arrow means that it keeps going to the right. Justin, what about the range?
Negative 3 to infinity.
Yes, and negative 3 is included. Because negative 3 is the lowest point, which is down here, and it's not an open circle. When I go up, it looks like, oh, I might have a problem here, but notice it corresponds to a point over here. Same thing with this one, it would correspond to a point over here, and it does keep going up forever. So that's why it's to infinity. Okay, fill in number 6, that's where we'll start tomorrow. I'll ask you what that is tomorrow. And then make sure you have all your notes and your homework and stuff ready for tomorrow for the homework quiz, which for virtual students is on Friday.